Saint Anthony Zaccaria was born in the city of Cremona, Italy, in December 1502 to Lazzaro and Antonia Pescarelli Zaccaria. He was baptized the same day in Cremona Cathedral, probably by his uncle Don Tommaso Zaccaria, canon of the cathedral. When he was 2, his father died. His family was of the nobility, and in order to teach him compassion for the poor, his mother made him her almoner. After attending the episcopal school annexed to the cathedral, he studied philosophy at the University of Pavia, and, from 1520, medicine at the University of Padua. After completing studies in 1524, he returned to Cremona and practiced as a physician for 3 years. In 1527, he started studying for the priesthood, and continued his theological studies in Bologna. On the 20th of February 1529, Zaccaria was ordained a priest in the chapel of St. Joseph in Cremona Cathedral. Having explored his calling, mainly by working in hospitals and institutions for the poor, he became spiritual advisor to Countess Ludovica Torelli of Garstola, then the tiny county of Garstola, and in 1530 followed her to Milan. There, he became a member of the Oratory of Eternal Wisdom, where he met Bartolomeo Ferrari and Giacomo Antonio Moriggia. The devotions mainly focused on the teachings of Paul of Tarsus with emphasis on love for the Eucharist and Christ crucified. They were soon joined by others. They instructed in the rudiments of their faith, gave missions in parishes in the city and elsewhere, and cared for the sick in the hospitals. Zaccaria preached regularly in churches and on street corners and is credited for reviving the custom of ringing church bells in Milan at 3 p.m. on Fridays, in remembrance of the passion and death of Jesus. Their activities aroused some opposition, but the group persevered. In 1533, having received encouragement from Pope Clement VII, Zaccaria took a small house near the church of St. Catherine at the Ponte dei Fabbri, and here they began their community life. The congregation was named after the companion of Paul. In 1534 at St. Catherine's, he popularized the 40-hour devotion for the laity, the solemn exposition of the Blessed Sacrament for adoration by the faithful, accompanied by preaching. In July 1535 Pope Paul III, with a bull of approbation, confirms the devotion to St. Paul for Zaccaria and his group. In July 1537 Zaccaria accompanied the first Pauline missionaries, Barnabites, Angelic sisters, and laity of St. Paul, and some collaborators, Castellino di Castello and Fra Bono Lizzari, to Vicenza to open the congregation's second house. While on mission to Garstola in 1539, he caught a fever. Combined with the strict penances he performed, his health worsened. In June Zaccaria writes to the couple Omode in Milan and speaks of a great weariness of the body. He feels that his end is imminent and wants to be brought back to Cremona by a boat of dealers who have 2 mandatory stops, in Cremona and Casalmaggiore, on their trade route along the Po River. Anthony Zaccaria died on Saturday the 5th of July 1539, at the age of 36, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, in the house where he was born, in the arms of his mother and surrounded by his first companions. At the hour of his death he was consoled by a vision of the apostles and prophesied the future growth of his society. The people began immediately to show the devotion to this saint on account of his great holiness and of his numerous miracles. The cult was approved by Leo XIII, who solemnly canonized him on Ascension Day, 1897.